Hey, everybody, and welcome to the One Lane Road podcast.
Father's Day edition.
Father's Day. I'm not a father yet, but you are. You got two times.
2 times over.
Yeah.
You
Little
will
Bayless
be.
James and Waylon. What's Waylon's middle name?
Waylon Reed.
Waylon Reed. After old Bradley Reed.
Yeah. Bayless James after
Bayless
Lindsay's
James.
family. You'll get that feeling next year. This is the last one that you've got.
Last one without being a dad.
It's a pretty cool feeling.
It
I
is.
hadn't, everybody in my household was snoring and slobbering on their pillows still when I left. So,
yeah, it's another early morning edition.
yeah. I don't know that it would have mattered if it would have been at 10 or 11. They probably still would have been sleeping pretty hard. But me and Rick was up, and it's kind of funny. That's our relationship. We acknowledge each other in the morning, but it wasn't a happy Father's Day either way. And
Yeah.
we'll eventually say it one time.
Yeah.
Emotional is not.
Motion in the Kennedy house don't run high, huh?
Yeah. People wonder why I'm so dry. It's just because my dad's so dry, and he's, someday I remember when he would call and be like, "Well, I guess I need to tell you happy birthday, don't I?" So it's
Yeah.
not. It's
Yeah.
great dad, always been there for me, and so happy Father's Day to Rick. But it's just like emotion is not his forte,
Right.
So.
Hey, a little bit of news on that front. I got to feel the baby kick while I was on vacation this week. Yeah, sure did. I was I don't know if it kicked or moved or what it did, but
Done something.
It done something, and I got to feel it. It was pretty neat. So
Pretty exciting.
that was exciting. That close to Father's Day. So there's your.
What's the
Father's Day
next
plug.
step that you got?
Well, Tuesday, we get to go determine what it's going to be.
Oh, this Tuesday?
This coming Tuesday.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah, that's big. We're going to do a little gender reveal party for the family this weekend,
Yeah,
and
those are getting to be just
somebody
as
asked
an event.
Somebody asked me down at work, said, "Are you going to do a gender reveal?" I said,
What the hell is that?
"Yeah, I don't know what that is." And then literally that evening when I got home, Kara said, "Hey, can we do a gender reveal party?" I said,
I was just thinking the same thing this morning, honey.
"Yeah." I said, "Hey, I just found out about them today. Let's do one."
Yeah, we did one for
Bayless.
yeah.
Yeah.
We did it at Logan's and just put boxes. We had I guess what you do is you take after she went to the doctor that day, you take it over to Party City. Is that the name of the store?
Oh yeah.
Party City, and you just give the card. You don't see the content. So she had no idea what it was. You just
really?
give it to Party City, and they filled the box full of either pink or blue.
Oh, so the idea is the mother doesn't even know what it is.
Right. Everybody finds out at once.
Oh no, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, she had no idea. And I guess you can cheat if you want to be like that, but I just think it's cool to find out all with everybody.
Oh, that is cool.
So we had no idea. We were sitting in Logan's with, there was probably 30 people, I guess, out there that night, and we opened it up, and blue balloons came out.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, everybody said they saw the disappointment because I know Lindsay was wanting a girl, but I know now she wasn't traded, and she's harping on number 3.
Right.
Those. I don't know. I don't know what she's. Whew, 2's really slow you down a lot.
Well, that's cool. Well, no, that's really cool, man. I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about us not knowing either. I thought about we would know and nobody else would, and we'd come reveal it some way.
No, so I think.
Well, that's more exciting than what I had in mind. So
yeah, I've seen people do it like people will like shoot you with paint. I don't know really. I don't really pay attention, but like maybe I don't know if it's paintball or something. Like people get shot in shirts with pink or blue or.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
All the videos, but
we'll check that out.
Maybe give a shout out to some of our buddies that fathers too. I'd like to say Josh Kennedy, AJ, Brad,
Chris Boone. He can't quit having kids. He's got all kinds of them now.
Fertile Myrtle.
Yeah, yes.
I don't know. I said AJ
I think
Brad.
everybody but me is a dad now, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple more holding out. I think, but that they know of.
Yeah, Big Duff is still holding out.
James. But we got Jeremy Hammer listens. He's got 3 kids. Clint Fraley.
Yeah.
Brandon Gregory. So many. Gary. So many. I hate to leave anybody out, but that's just some of our closer circle there that's had kids.
Anyway, happy Father's Day, everybody. I mean,
I can't believe some of us have. It's been. It surprises me that 10 and 12 years ago we were all hanging out like we wouldn't think that we would be as good as dads as.
Right.
Clint Fraley's like one of the best dads I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And he was scared to death.
He's got the cutest little kid, too.
Both of them. Yeah. That little boy looks just like him.
Yeah,
so.
that little boy is, I guess the little boy is the only one I've really been around any, but he's.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it's Clint made over right
Yeah,
there.
Grant and Callie.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like I said, it was much fun as we had back in the day. We're having just equally as much fun being parents, and you'll see that, soon enough. So it's definitely a good thing. It's a beautiful thing, and
All right.
I don't break down and show the tenderness much, but it's a pretty damn cool thing to have your own little family running around. So.
Well, how was the poker run yesterday? The old Rick's poker run.
Yeah, well, it's partnership. My dad really, I mean, he has a lot to do with it, but it was for the Dotson's Branch Fire Department. Big, for anybody that doesn't know, we plugged it a few times. The Dotson's Branch had a big poker run 4-wheeler ride down at my dad's, left out at his old store building yesterday.
Yeah.
Biggest ride they've had yet.
People-wise, number of people.
Machines, rides.
How many people wind up coming?
I think they counted around about, you can't ever get a right number on that, but around 140, 150 people.
Oh, that's a bunch.
That's the biggest
There's a
by
bunch
far.
There's a bunch of side-by-sides, so how many units was there?
I think 100
Oh,
they
really?
counted.
That's still pretty. That's really good.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Especially with this race going on up here. That's a big turnout.
Yeah, I figured the way everybody was talking, the race might slow it down a little bit, but not
even a little bit.
Not even at all. I mean, you came down. And checked
Yeah,
it
I
out.
came down and watched everybody take off.
It was official flagger.
Yeah.
Luke was like one of those people you see at the fair telling you where to park. He took over for my dad yesterday.
Yeah.
Motioned him in about 3/4 mile down the road.
Yeah, I got overexcited and motioned him from way too far out.
Thought you were going to throw your hip out for a little bit. Your arm sore today.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, my right shoulder was out a little bit this morning.
But it was a good turnout. It was it lasted probably 6-hour ride, 5 or 6 hour ride.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't kill us. Lindsay kept saying every time I hadn't rode in a while.
Right.
Never.
Well, you just got your Rhino, really, didn't you?
Yeah, and I had a T-Rex, whatever you want to call it, years ago. But we lived in Cookville, and there was not really
any place to ride.
We rode around the subdivision a lot, burning tires off of it, But it's the first time I'd rode, so like every time Lindsay, who likes to take charge, so to speak, it's kind of weird to say. I know you didn't know that about
I didn't know
but
yeah.
she kind of likes to be the boss of things, and she, it's Father's Day, not Mother's Day. I can say whatever I want today, right? No, it's like every other turn, I was like, oh, man, that's a pretty steep little, she's like, you want me to drive? You want me to drive? I got it, honey. Well, you just make me nervous. Put your seatbelt on. Shut up.
Yeah, put your seatbelt on. Hold on to the
You'll be all right.
It ain't the first time we're going to turn one of these things over.
Yeah, I flipped her once. I've never lifted it down.
Oh, yeah.
Flipped a 4-wheeler like 8 years ago. Well, do you remember that time? It can happen again. Like, I just don't trust you. I just don't trust you to drive me on this thing. Well, Lucas wanted to come, so you rode with somebody else?
Yeah.
No. It was good. Derek, we got to sit down with Derek and Jada.
Derek Woolbright.
Derek's a big listener. He said he's about, I feel like that's kind of the thing. He said he's about 2 or 3 episodes behind right now.
That's kind of where I feel everybody's at. That's kind of what everybody's been telling me. I get 1 or 2 people that's kind of staying current week to week, and then everybody else has been kind of telling me, oh, yeah, I just listened to this. It was really good. So, there's 2 after that. So
Yeah. And I don't even think episode 7, I don't think people's even got to James's yet. A lot of people haven't got to that one. So it's kind of, I'm like, well, you need to catch up because we're not stopping.
Yeah, yeah.
And hey, Derek Rich, get off subject just for a second. Derek Rich binge listened because he was like I said, he was one of the people I thought would listen to it.
He was a holdout, kind of, though.
Well, he just didn't know about it for a few weeks, then he got behind because he listened to a lot of podcasts. He listened to all 8 episodes this past week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
What
did he say about him?
He said he's like, I was expecting you guys to start off kind of slow.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to sound like you've been doing it for a long time right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
And Derek's not going to lie to you because he's straight up just.
I'm saying he don't have that bone in his body.
No, I don't think so.
No.
So, but now Derek listens to us. Derek Woolbright listens to us a lot. And Jada was actually the first person. She never really said anything, but I know Jada. So she was like, she was the first person to call and say she listened to episode 1. And I haven't given her any acknowledgement since then. And so I was like, man, we're trying to work them in every week because Derek's always retweeting our stuff or liking our stuff on our podcast pages. And so Jada, thank you she said, I feel like Lucas really keeps you in line. Like from episode 1 to the last one, she's like, I think he keeps you in line.
Right.
Which is kind of how life's been, you've kind of always done that for me.
Well,
when I get out there, Lucas has always been pulling me back. So
I don't think that's what was intended. What the intent was, I think it was kind of intended on me going to have more fun, and then I think I might have drug you down a little bit, but that may have been what happened there more.
No, she just said, I always feel like Lucas's damage control for when you kind of say something you're not supposed to say, or
Right.
Like we've said, I don't think sometimes before I speak. And she's like, that one episode, you're like, well, marriage isn't really fun. Luke was like, well, no, I love it. I mean, I'm good at it. I was like, well, I didn't intend to say I hate my marriage. You
Right.
know? I'm just saying, it's, people, think that marriage is just you slow down and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
digging myself deeper here, really. But get me out of this one.
I don't know how to
Get
get
me
you out
out
of
of
this
this
one. I'm trying, but I can't figure it out right now.
No, but that's pretty accurate. So Jada's pretty smart about that stuff. I told her, I said, it's funny, she was my first love. I told her and her boyfriend, her and Derek, I was like, you was my first love. I was like, how could I forget my first love?
Yeah.
7 years old, getting on the bus. She was 4 years older than me. So do the math there, Jada, you're getting old. And her and my wife are really good friends now, but I just thought she was it when I was first grade.
Yeah.
And then she was like, don't get the big head, because then I seen Tammy Reeser.
And then
It
it was
also
over
in my
with. Yeah.
class. I said, then I seen Kelly Kapowski. Then I was really done. Kelly
Yeah.
Kapowski's my all-time favorite.
And then HS was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't even study them little fifth grade girls no more when I seen Kelly Kapowski. But no, it was a great turnout yesterday for that group, and congratulations, Dawson's Branch, and thank you for putting that on. It's
Well,
really awesome.
Little things like that, it's really important to those fire departments, communities, and everything like that.
Yeah, and I think I don't know that they were, but I didn't check around. But the word was there was a couple other fire departments coming down to check out how it worked.
Oh, really?
So Dawson's
Trying to-
Branch being a trendsetter
There
here.
you go. Big Rick down there. I had a nice spot, too, for it to work this time.
Yeah. Well, we're blessed with my grandpa's hard work over the years to have had that,
Yeah.
and the generations before of Kennedys to have all the acre
Mm-hmm.
down there to work with,
Right.
living off down there and
Well, it looked
beautiful
awesome.
land. Yeah. Well, man, you had some
I had a fun week, anyway.
last week after we wrapped up last week's show. You and Kara took off to Texas.
Cut out to Texas, man. We went to, we drove the whole way. So
Whew.
30, it was about 36 hours of driving when we got done with it.
33 more than I want to do. Goodness gracious.
Boy, it was long. It was rough. But we went to, went to Dallas and Fort Worth and hung out down in the stockyards at Fort Worth and kind of watched them drive the Longhorns through the streets. Real cowboys driving Longhorns through the streets. That was pretty cool. And then we went from there. We went down to Austin, Texas, and then we went on to San Antonio. Then went into Houston. Then went down to Galveston. Then we left from Galveston, went to New Orleans, and then left from New Orleans, come on home. And boy,
Goodness gracious.
it was a big trip, man.
But you've seen it all. You've seen every bit of Texas.
Well, really, we seen just a small part of it because we were looking at it. It took us 10 hours to get to where we were at in Texas.
Right.
When we got to Fort Worth, and then we cruised around and wound up driving over to Houston. But it's still, if you went from Houston to El Paso, it's 13 hours.
Whew.
It's 13 hours across Texas.
Man.
So we did. I bet we didn't see a quarter of it, but we seen the big things that we
Right.
always hear about.
How cool was Fort Worth? I think it's
Fort Worth was awesome. That was probably one of my favorite things. So we got downtown in old Fort Worth, down in old stockyards and stuff, and walked around down there, and you was in old cobblestone like brick streets, and it's just old. It's just real old looking stuff down there. Austin. We drove down to Austin, and really for Texas, Austin was super, not country. It was
Really?
super city.
Hipster?
It was real hipster, man.
is the whole world not going hipster?
The whole world's going hipster, man. Like Nashville's getting a little hipster,
Well, it's a lot hipster.
Yeah.
I was in Books-A-Me in Cookeville the other day, and I thought everybody was going to Bonnaroo. Everybody, I get pissed off when I see everybody in their little skinny jeans and
that was.
in their little. It's just the whole world's going hipster, and I feel like we're just.
I didn't expect to see any skinny jeans in Texas.
Plenty of them.
There's all over the place in Austin. I mean, there was stickers and stuff all over windows, and I didn't see but probably 10 cowboy hats being
Did you
worn.
buy one?
I didn't.
There
But let me tell you why.
I know why.
Well, there you go. I mean, it ain't because of lack of trying. I bet I tried on 100 cowboy hats while I was down there. I couldn't find one that was big enough to fit my head.
All too big.
Not
all
a one
swallowed
of
your
them.
head hole.
Not a one of them. Every one of them was way too small. I didn't find but one size 8 when we got down through there, and it was just, it was literally a 10-gallon hat. You hear about a 10-gallon hat from Texas? It was literally a 10-gallon. Then we went on down to San Antonio. We looked at the Alamo, walked through the Alamo. Man, I don't know. That was I don't know why. For me, it was a real emotional experience. It was
Really?
just being in the Alamo, because seeing seeing where all those, Davy Crockett and all those people from Tennessee, went down there and died. They defended this one certain area, and they all died in one fight. And it was really, really, really neat to see. If you get a chance to get down there and see it,
that's a trip. That's a trip I would like to take is to Texas, because I've, growing up, everybody wants to go to the beach every year, but I think that'd be a good trip to take one year.
Yeah.
Just because even as a sports fan, there's so many things you can see. I mean, and not really just like Jerry's World is down in Dallas. Did you get to see Dallas Stadium? That, and I mean, like I said, Alamo would be cool to see. San Antonio is just a beautiful city, right?
San Antonio was absolutely awesome. It was, as far as a town, a city,
Probably
San Antonio is my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a river walk downtown San Antonio.
That's what I was going to say.
And we actually stayed at this little hotel, like the O'Brien Hotel, and we were then walking distance to Riverwalk, probably 200 yards from hitting Riverwalk, and then we just walked it for a long time. It was awesome, man. And, and the Riverwalk pops out onto, to the Alamo and all kinds of places like that. Speaking of, seen Dave Chappelle while we was in San Antonio kind of randomly.
Was he doing a show or something?
Yeah, there was
doing a show.
Aztec Theater down there. I was somewhat convinced it was Dave Chappelle, and then I was unconvinced it was Dave Chappelle. But I was looking at, I wasn't looking, I was staring at him. I was straight up staring. I was like, I told Karen, I said, I think it's Dave Chappelle. She's like, oh, okay. And then I just couldn't quit. I thought, I've got to see if that's him or not. So I was staring at him, and then he kind of looked at me and caught my eyes with this, oh man, somebody just recognized me look. And then I threw my sunglasses back on real quick, and I told Karen, I said, that's him. That's Dave Chappelle. And then turned back around, he was gone. I mean, he caught that I caught him, and then he was out.
He's one of my favorite comedians.
Oh, well, he's making such a huge comeback right now too.
Is he?
Yeah. Everybody, he's in like downtown L.A. and at I can't think of what the name of that comedy club is. But they say he's in there working out new material all the time and just killing the crowd the whole time, just coming back with a vengeance. But he got so big there at that one point in time, and I think
he lost his mind, didn't he?
Well, I don't know. He run off to
Africa.
I think he wanted to shed some of that fame and get it back under control a little bit. I think
he blew up. I remember when we were in college when it was going on the 03, 04, like with the Chappelle show. It just got
monsters.
It was monsters. My favorite stand-up that he done, I think we were in high school when it came out. I don't remember the name of it now, but when he's talking about Sesame Street, do you remember that one?
Yeah.
He said, you can't, he's like, that is such a messed up place. I wouldn't take my kids to Sesame Street because he said that Count was it Dracula was a pimp. Give me my money, and then he said, my favorite line of that was Oscar. Hey, Oscar, why are you such a grouch?
Oscar, you're a grouch.
Did you live in a trash can? And I cleaned that up a lot from what he said, but
so that was awesome, man. Getting to see him and getting to be running around down there, And then we went on down to Houston, and then just to hang out and see it for a little while.
What about New Orleans? Is it as nasty as everybody says it is?
Just looking around, it's not. It didn't look dirty,
nasty.
But man, it just smelled really bad. Kara being pregnant like she is, we were walking down through there. Oh, her poor little sensitive stomach couldn't handle much of it. It smelled so bad. It smelled like everybody been puking on it all night long.
Well, they had been because you can walk around with open containers there and partying.
While we were there, we walked past one guy that was straight up laid, passed out on the sidewalk. Eyes rolled back in his head and just.
That's anywhere
life
you go,
full of bad decisions right there. And then there was a guy and his wife or girlfriend or whatever sounded like they were from Australia or New Zealand or someplace like that, trying to get in a cab, and the cabbies wouldn't let them in. They were so drunk the cabbies wouldn't take them anywhere. And we walked on down the street, walked past it, and we come back up the other side a little bit later, and she had got on his back, and he was carrying her down the street, and
that's love.
Oh yeah, she had puked down the street a couple times, and while they were walking past us, she puked on him while they were walking through there. So and this was at probably 1 o'clock in the day.
Well, they like to party.
Oh, they hit Bourbon Street with a vengeance down there, buddy. In Galveston, like you said, talking about the beach, everybody wants to go to the beach. So we decided whenever we get over to Houston or Galveston, we'd go to the beach. But that water down there, man, it's dirty. It's just real dirty. I guess there's a lot of mud and stuff in it. We asked some locals. They said, "Oh, it's always like that." But the day before we got there, a little girl had gotten attacked by a shark while we were down there, and I could see why. I mean, you couldn't tell. You couldn't see
Couldn't
anything.
see anything. One place I would like to check out just because of music scene is that Billy Bob's famous
in Fort Worth.
I think it's in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go there?
Well, we went in there, just poked our heads in just to take a look at it. And it was pretty neat, man. You know, again, we were there really early in the morning whenever we were in Fort Worth, so there wasn't anything going on there.
Yeah.
And they were getting ready to do line dancing and
you line dance?
No, I don't.
You don't get a little boot scooting boogie?
I can't. Not only can I not think about dancing, I don't have enough function in my feet to even worry about it.
I like to see you in some Wranglers and a 10-gallon hat out there.
You come down to work every day, I wear Wranglers, but I ain't got a 10-gallon hat. I can't. Well,
yeah, but you wear the new modern Dale Jr. Wranglers. You don't wear the Brad Cragged Wranglers.
Well, you know what I don't understand about Wranglers is why they're cut like to go to your belly button. I don't know why you have to button the pants at your belly button, because all these guys down there wearing Wranglers that actually seem like a cowboy. All that was just like an inch under their nipples. I don't know what that was. I don't know why they were up so high.
I had to wear a pair of Wranglers one time for AJ's wedding.
Yeah.
He called. He's like, "I'm saving you guys some money. We're gonna wear a vest and Wranglers." I said, "No, we're not. We're not." And he's like, "Oh, you ain't gotta wear the jacket or nothing." I was like, "No, I want to wear a jacket. And I want to wear. I don't own Wranglers. I'm saving y'all some money." No, you don't. Because I'm going to buy a $40 pair of Wranglers.
Yeah. If you got a pair of Wranglers for $40, you bought them on sale.
I got them at Macon Department Store. They've probably been there since like 1988.
Yeah.
You know, when I bought them. So I wore them one day.
Yeah, and that's the end of it.
That was it.
They're not comfortable. I wear them every day. I don't like them.
They weren't. And I was skinnier then. I can see myself trying to get into a pair of Wranglers now. They make plus-size Wranglers. They make stretchy waistband.
Yeah. Get them 31s to the 13s. I don't care for it. And then we made the drive. We wound up driving from Galveston to New Orleans to home in the same day. And we just hung out in New Orleans for a little while. That wound up being 17 hours worth of driving, or 17 hours worth of traveling that day. It was a long day. Down there in the middle of New Orleans, there's a guy had a little horse and buggy. You know, you could rent these horse and buggies to drive you around town or whatever.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, a guy grabbed the rein too hard and jerked a bit out of the mule's mouth, and man, it cut hard left and run into a bus. That mule run into a bus while we were down there. It was wild, man. The guy had this look on his face of what was going on. That mule trying to bite that bit back down into its mouth. It was it was wild.
That sounded like a pretty good trip.
Hey, it was a good trip, man. I was glad to take it. Glad to see all that stuff. You know, not a traditional trip, but something I'd been wanting to do. So it was a good time.
Well, I'm definitely putting that on the bucket list. Try it out, and I like to check out every bit of that. I don't know if I want to see Houston as much, but
Houston wasn't that impressive.
There's nothing I can think of.
I've never seen more. If you want to make some money right now, go to Texas and work on some road construction, because every road,
And where, Houston?
Anywhere. From the time we got into Texas to the time we left Texas, every interstate that we was on was just covered up with construction.
Best I remember, Don Asbury, when his dad was sick, went down to Houston a lot to the doctors, and I think he complained about Houston traffic a lot.
Oh, traffic's awful, and it's because everything's being worked on down there. There's no straight way to get to anything down there.
Yeah.
Interstate 30 and Interstate 35 and Interstate 10, it's all been worked on the whole way down through there. So,
well,
anyways, good.
We're going to wrap up this first segment here. We're going to take a little short break and get a word from Mike Keith.
Hi, this is Mike Keith, voice of the Tennessee Titans, and you're listening to the One Lane Road podcast with Lucas and DK. Go Titans.
So, Lucas, tonight, what we got going on, this should be the last NBA talk we have for a while. Game 7, NBA Finals. They don't get much bigger than that.
Man, what you'd said at some point in time, you said to me, I don't know if you might have posted, I don't know, but you said somehow or another the NBA is going to push this to a Game 7.
Yeah, there was a lot of controversy.
A lot of controversy on that, wasn't there?
After Game 6, 5, there was a little bit of controversy. In Game 6, there was a lot of controversy.
Well, LeBron James wound up going, wild on everybody. 41 and 41 points.
Yeah, if you want to piss off the best player in the world, you just tell him he's a bum. And everybody, it's so funny how stuff changes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when Steph Curry was shooting lights out all year long, everybody's like, well, he's the best player in the world. He's the best player in the world. And everybody forgot about LeBron.
Right.
And you just cannot, pound for pound, LeBron's still the best player in the game.
Can't count him out.
No, and he really has and I'm one of the guys that's dogged him. I've been on record several times as saying I'm not the biggest LeBron fan. I'm not a hater of LeBron, but I'm not a fan of some of his antics. But he has stepped up 41 points both the last 2 games. I mean,
you're saying about antics there. That's one of the big complaints was that he was up to some of his old antics of like complaining to the refs, and garnering the refs to call in his favor and what have you. I mean, is that what you saw in those couple games?
Well, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. They all complain now. Nobody's ever committed a foul, and what bothers me about LeBron is, and I've said it on previous episodes, is the flopping. I think it's ridiculous when you're 6'8", 250 pounds, and you have to flop to get calls. And a lot of people are on him about his jump shot, which has been suspect his whole career, not just now. But he really shut the last two games. He's hitting his 3-point shots. He's hitting outside shots. And I don't criticize him. James Hatcher criticized him when he takes it to the hole.
Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you?
Well,
if you could play like LeBron James, why wouldn't you just go to the hole every time?
Well, it's bully basketball is what James was saying. It's bully basketball.
Yeah, if you can do it, do it. I mean,
if you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Shaq made a living out of it.
Yeah.
Shaq was also a 340, 50-pound post player.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron does. I mean, he's bad with that off arm to kind of throw some people around in the post.
Right.
Like I said, if you can do it,
if you can do it and get away with it, go do it.
The NBA is more of a superstar league than any other league because they're recognizable. They don't have helmets on their head. Like it's an individual league in the NBA for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And LeBron can get away with that, and something Curry's got away with, and that didn't happen in Game 6. And that's what led to all the controversy because he fouled out for the first time in I don't know how long, but he got ejected. And
well, I mean, that's kind of unprecedented too. How many superstars ever foul out of ball games too? Though?
Yeah, especially in Game 6 of the finals.
Yeah,
and I think that's what everybody said. But of course, a lot of the Cleveland supporters said, "Well, the NBA wasn't rigged when Golden State came back from 3-1 to beat OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland's come back from 3-1, tied the series." But I mean, I seen it both ways. The refereeing, officiating has been bad all throughout the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just this series. And earlier in the game, Kevin Love, power forward for the Cleveland Cavaliers there, he got called for his third foul early in the second quarter, and there was no contact. I mean, I see it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just one way. But towards the end of the game, they called 3 fouls on Steph that were pretty ticky-tack.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve Kerr said it the best after the game, his coach. So I've never seen a lack of respect for a MVP player in my life. He said the one where he stole it from Kyrie at the top of the key, there was very little contact there. That was his 4th foul, I think, early in the 3rd. Then the one on LeBron, he said LeBron flopped and the referees fell for it. Basically. I mean, and it was. You don't call that on an MVP in that juncture of a game. So then Steph just lost his mind.
Yeah, and he slung his mouth guard up into
slung his mouth guard. Got in the official's face. That's BS, he said. Ejected.
Mm-hmm.
First time in 20 years, I think. I don't know. I won't throw that stat out. I think it's 20 years since I don't know. I'm just going to leave that alone.
Right.
I've seen something about a final MVP getting ejected in the game. I don't know. I can't remember. It was funny when he hit that guy. That was a minority Cavs owner's son.
The guy whose he slung his mouth guard at and slapped with.
Did you see it? That guy was like giving him the "you're out of here" sign, And Steph just threw it at him, and that kid acted like he'd been hit with a Roger Clemens fastball when he was on the juice. I mean, he popped up with that ground and scared the hell out of him.
Oh, yeah.
He couldn't. I mean, he said he was aiming for the score table. He couldn't have threw it any better.
Right,
he was trying. Like I said, the kid bounced off the ground, looked like a punk,
That's funny.
But Steph went over and gave him slapped hands with him.
Yeah.
Made sure everything was cool. He didn't mean to obviously do that.
Right.
But I mean, it sets the stage tonight. I mean, like I said, I put it on there. Game 7 of OKC and Golden State. I said, don't get much bigger than a Game 7. Of course, Nick Grace, one of our best listeners, he said, well, I consider Game 1 of the Super Bowl to be a little bit bigger. And it absolutely always is.
Yeah.
But the NBA, this is what they wanted. I don't care what they say. Adam Silver and the commissioner of the league, it's always about money. It's always about ratings.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they care either way who wins, honestly. But they wanted it to go.
Well, they've probably got plenty of TV contracts and stuff that really hinged on that Game 7 too.
I'm sure. And LeBron has the chance right now to do something. His image is kind of hit as far as winning the big game. You know, and it's all, and we'll get to this in the next question. We got a listener question. It's an awesome question. But, you know, Jordan was 6-0 in the finals. That's what our generation really hits up on LeBron. 6-0, he never lost the finals. LeBron's 2-4 right now. Okay, so you lose tonight, you go to 2-5, and it keeps hurting your image. It hurts your legacy. Okay, but you come out tonight, and you've had 40 points back-to-back, and you lead your team to Game 7 victory. First championship ever for the Cleveland franchise, which he promised he would do. That's why he came home, to win a championship. And you've put that team on your back and showed again why you're the best player in the world. And it establishes your legacy, you know, and this is all on his shoulders right now. And, you know, I look at Golden State, and I look at a tired team. I look at a team that chased the record and got the record, 73 wins. I look at these, you know, the hard series they've had. And I don't care what anybody says. Cleveland had an easier route coming from the East. They didn't play anybody good, really. And then Golden State's really, they look tired. I don't like their body language. I don't know. Well, if I had to make a prediction, I don't know.
Well, I watched Game 5 the other night while we were on the road. I just, whenever we got in early one night, and I just watched it. LeBron James, whenever he's playing, you know, I've watched him play before, and, you know, he's kind of lackadaisical. He's not out there. He's not giving his best. You know, he's not pushing real hard or whatever. You know, he looks like, you know, he's really good, but you know, he's not at his peak. Man, Game 5, he was. I don't see how, if he plays Game 5, Game 6 basketball again tonight, then I don't see how they're going to beat him, because he was out there just absolutely embarrassing those people whenever he got the ball in his hands, because they couldn't stop him. They couldn't keep him when he had something on his mind. They couldn't keep him from doing that thing.
And sometimes I feel like with superstars like him, I think they get bored. The game comes so easily to guys like him, and Jordan was notorious for it. He had to find things that made him mad. He had to generate stuff off his, you know, pick things off people. Patrick Ewing said this, Charles Barkley said this. Okay, I'm gonna give it to him tonight.
Right.
You know, because it comes so easy to athletes like them. And I feel like LeBron, I feel like he, I don't want to say doesn't try, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, and you shouldn't have to revert to flopping and all this stuff. But, you know, nobody in this league can physically handle that, man. One-on-one. And Golden State's going to have to give their effort. And like I said, I don't like their body language. I don't think they're healthy. I think Steph's banged up. They're not acknowledging it because they're not that kind of team. They're not going to use injuries. And Andre Iguodala's out there looking like Larry Bird, 92. His back's shot, looks like. But at the same time, LeBron can put them on their back. But guys like Kyrie are going to have to step in. Kyrie's had an amazing series. Kevin Love's going to have to show up. J.R. Smith's going to have to hit his open shots. I'm really excited. And this is the third Game 7 in the last, you know, I don't know. I know they had one a couple years ago with the Spurs and the Heat, and then a couple other ones. But it's pretty rare to see a Game 7 in the finals. So,
well, all that brings us to a listener question we had from Blake Allen. Would you trade this generation of LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant for past generations, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson?
That's an awesome question. And what do you think? The
way I'm going to answer this is just based on the fact that I watched basketball whenever Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson were actually playing. You know, that's whenever I actually paid a lot of attention to ball. These guys today, I mean, I can't get invested in these guys today. I just can't. I can't do it. You know, I watched that Game 5 the other night. I've watched a couple of games here recently, but no matter how much I try, I just can't get invested in it. You've seen Michael Jordan walk onto a court, just glued to TV. You couldn't quit watching it. You've seen Larry Bird come out there and just start talking trash to people and playing and shooting like he was. I mean, you couldn't quit watching it. You know, just to me, those guys, those past generations were better for me. And, you know, I know we've talked about that could be what we grew up on and what have you, but to me, these guys, I would almost put money on just saying LeBron and Curry and Durant would go out there and kill those guys in a game of 3-on-3. But I would still rather watch them. I'd rather watch Michael Jordan. I'd rather watch Larry Bird. I'd rather watch. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, and it does go back to what we're talking about. I think we said it in the James show. Whatever era you grow up in, you're biased to it.
Yeah,
absolutely. If you talk to a 60-year-old man or 70-year-old man, they're going to talk about Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Bill Russell. Okay, You talk to somebody our age, it's Michael Jordan. And like I said, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson kind of were a little bit before our time. They retired when we were 7, 8 years old.
Right.
But the videos, and we grew up watching it essentially like we grew up in that era. Because those Celtics and Lakers games were always on. Our era was more like, say John Stockton, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley. Then I'm a fan of the 90s because I started watching in 92, 93 when Jordan was actually on his way out the first time, but you had Shaq and you had Penny Hardaway. That was an exciting little era. Sean Kemp. Then he kind of going into the 2000s, early 2000s, Allen Iverson, Vince Carter, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant. It just depends. What I do see, and it was more of a hard-nosed game. A flagrant foul now is a touch. Back then, a flagrant foul, you had to, somebody better be bleeding on the court before it was a flagrant foul. And you didn't even get suspended.
Yeah.
Rarely.
Well, Sean Kemp and Dennis Rodman, I mean, some of the stuff they did, I mean, they got called a regular foul on it. They'd get kicked out of games for it now.
Well, you go back to the late 80s, bad boy Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
If LeBron thinks he's getting hammered now, I would love to see one time LeBron James take it to the hole on Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn. Just put his butt on the ground. Well, be no little flopping going on. He put his. I mean, Jordan went through it, and that's why I admired Jordan. Jordan didn't have to call his two best friends after he didn't win a championship. Jordan, every year, went to the hole and got killed by the Pistons. They made the Jordan rules up. They put his butt on the ground. They killed. They messed up Scottie Pippen. They had Scottie Pippen so bad he was afraid to go to the hole. But what Jordan has the moral fiber and the competitiveness and the burning desire. He said, all right, we're going to get better each year. Mm-hmm. Like I said, he didn't call Charles Barkley. He didn't call whoever. He didn't call Premier Garden League. He's like, hey, guys, let's get together and let's put the Pistons out. No, he took his squad with Pippen and Horace Grant, all those guys, and he pushed them to be the absolute best that they could be. And after years of trying, they finally, 91, I think, finally put down the Pistons. And that's the desire that I do not see in a lot of these players these days, because there wasn't guaranteed money back then. There wasn't all these things,
and they were playing that hard, like you just said, without that money too. I mean, they didn't make money like that.
No, we're not even close.
Like they're doing now. Steph Curry's probably getting paid more than any of those did. And what was he 54th? I mean, he's getting paid more than any of them did.
I just feel like, and I'm like you, I can't get invested. And after Shaq retired, I've really struggled to find that player that I root for. I root for Kevin Durant because I feel like he's a good guy. I don't see that desire though. Sometimes I feel like there's a lack of. And I think Kobe's kind of a last of a dying breed.
Yeah, and now he had the desire to win, and you can see it in him. I mean, you can see it in his eyes, you can see it in the way he played, you can see everything about him. And he always wanted to get better. He'd go to Italy and play. He'd play over here and whatever. And those guys today, they don't have that. I see.
And that's not to say, does LeBron want to win? Yes.
Oh, obviously.
But I've also
obviously he wants to win.
Obviously, but I feel like there's a sense of entitlement there that's always come with LeBron that he thinks it's given. He should be given.
Well, I mean,
more than
they've been telling him. They've been telling him since he was 15 that he was going to be the greatest basketball player of all time. Right. So maybe he may have that still stuck in his head.
I just feel like following some of the younger followers I follow on Twitter, I get frustrated seeing the lack of respect for Michael Jordan. And it's kind of becoming a thing. Like on the Dan Patrick Show, there's one of the people on there. It's like, oh, Michael Jordan's a mythical god now. Like he never missed a shot, never missed a game. And that just happens.
Yeah.
Our generation has built Michael Jordan up, but I can't even have a conversation with somebody that says he's not the greatest player of all time. And I follow these 21, 22-year-old people.
And how are they going to know? I mean, that's
right. They're like, oh, Michael Jordan. You were 3.
Well, not only that, they might have seen him when he was number 45 when he came back.
They might have seen the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, and I get it if you've seen that Michael Jordan. That's
look, and somebody, Richard Hubbard, who listens to our show, he sent me actually a thing the other day. I'm going to pull it up real quick. It's hard to argue with the numbers. It is. He said, what do you think about this? And it's the first 10 playoff appearances, LeBron versus Jordan. LeBron, 5,020 points. MJ, 4,165. Rebounds, 1,558 to 806. Assists, 1,188 to 783. Steals, 305 to 281. Blocks, 159 to 123. LeBron leads in every one of those categories.
Really?
Hey, you can't argue.
Can't argue with stats.
Yeah, you cannot. I get it. And I get it for all you LeBron supporters. I don't know, Blake. I tell you, man, I appreciate LeBron James's greatness. I think Steph Curry will go down as the greatest shooter in history. I love Kevin Durant. That being said, and they're better athletes. They're absolutely
better athletes.
Better athletes, and like Lucas said, 3-on-3. Hey, we may take them, but I really, really wish I could sit down tonight and say I was watching Larry Bird's Celtics versus Magic Johnson. Like I said, it's a more boring game. Back then, it was a more boring game. This is up. You know, they run the court. They're shooting threes. They're better athletes. But man, I'd really like to see. Yeah, I'd like to see the Pistons and Jordan going on tonight.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
Isaiah Thomas and Jordan.
I'd love to see Shaq and Kobe playing Tim Duncan tonight. I'm stuck in that era, and just like guys that we grew up, maybe parents that when we were in high school still wearing the skull caps with the Leonard Skinner on it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm stuck in the 90s. Maybe that's what it is.
I might go put on a Michael Jordan jersey after a while. I don't even know, man.
I'm stuck in it. I think that's the greatest era. If LeBron James wins tonight, he can know that he beat DeMar DeRozan, whoever the hell is on the Atlanta Hawks team, and whoever the hell is on the Detroit Pistons team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, they derailed the greatest team of all time, maybe. When Michael Jordan was winning championships, he was beating Reggie Miller's Pacers, Patrick Ewing's Knicks, Charles Barkley's Suns, Shaquille O'Neal's Magic, Sean Kemp's Supersonics, Stockton and Malone's Jazz.
Superstars.
Jesus Christ. He didn't beat DeMar DeRozan. He didn't beat whoever the hell's on the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
Me and Lucas we're on this record saying we're 90s babies.
I am.
80s babies.
Yeah.
That's the era I'm going with.
That's me. I mean, so would I trade the generation LeBron and Curry and Durant for those others? No, I wouldn't have them. I wouldn't watch LeBron for any of those. I'd bring those guys up. I'd watch those 80s, 90s guys all day long.
Yep. Thank you for the question, Blake. Thank you for being
awesome.
a listener. Good to see you yesterday.
Yeah.
Keep
hope
on.
Everything went good on the ride yesterday. I seen him coming down for the ride.
Keep on wearing those shirts that are small, size too small, so you look buff. I'm just kidding. You look good.
Let's take just a minute here and talk about Clay Builders for just a second. So, again, like we've always said, if you've got anything going on that you need some help with, if you need some tile showers, concrete, stamped concrete, remodeling or new construction buildings, go ahead and holler at our boys up there at Clay Builders. Dusty's cell phone number is 931-349-5382, and Jason Ashley is 931-445-4577. You need anything, holler at those boys, let them help you out with it.
Hey, Lucas, the next listener question comes from David Paul Scantlin from down in my area, Jackson County, famously known as Davo.
Davo.
It's a big deal down there, and he listens to us every week. I know he likes our sports banner, but actually his question for the week is maybe what's some up-and-coming country artists that we may not know about? Do you have any names?
Yeah. I've got I've got a couple of them here. One of my favorite, one of the big bands that I'm really hung up on right now. And it's I don't know whether you call it country or what, but Honey Honey Band. And if you go on to YouTube, or not on YouTube, iTunes, and you can go to either place and look at them, but it's Honey Honey. You just put both of them together, no spaces or anything, and throw it in there. Man, I just love their voice. There's just a guy and a girl. And if y'all go check out these songs, Thin Line and Burn Me Out, I just love them, man. I just
sound like a fruity band when you suggest it to
Yeah.
me. Then you let me listen to it. I really like that girl's voice.
She's got a real smoky voice. If I've got into listening to a lot of like female musicians recently for whatever reason. She's got this real smoky get
in touch with your feminine side.
I'm trying.
I watch Lifetime. You listen to the women music. It's what we do.
That's what happens, I guess. And another one that I think people are kind of sleeping on is Holly Williams.
Man, I love Holly Williams, and maybe it's because I'm biased because of who her daddy is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you tend to do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's very underrated, and I don't know
Super
why
underrated.
she's not got a bigger push on the big scale scene, but maybe it's a good thing she has it. So she can stay a little truer to her roots.
And when you listen to her, that's what it is. She's not pandering. I've accused people of pandering for a while, but it ain't her. She ain't doing it. Neither one of those bands are doing it. The other one that I'm really liking, and everybody's kind of heard of her. to some degree because you'll hear her songs every now and again. Is Elle King. She plays X's and O's is a big song that she sings, and America's Sweetheart, another big song she sings.
I didn't know it when you said the name, but once you let me listen to it, I did recognize the song. Another good voice.
Yeah, really good voice. It's actually Rob Schneider's daughter. I'm falling blank on all the things that he's played in right now.
Well, anything Adam Sandler related.
Anything Adam Sandler's ever did.
Benchwarmers he was in, and
he did all of that.
Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo.
Couple of ones here that you turned me on to was Cadillac 3.
Well, I think, given a kind of a short rundown, Dave-O, I know you listen to. It's hard to get up a leg on Dave-O on some music because he sits down there in his house and he'll download some music all the time. So he turns me on some things. I think a lot of our crowd, a lot of our audience will know who Cadillac 3 is. Originally Cadillac Black, and they are getting a bigger following. So I don't think they're really under the radar as much. Love their sound.
I think you'd be surprised about who wouldn't know them because
really,
other than you telling me about them.
Well, they've toured with some pretty big. I mean, I've seen them with Dierks Bentley. Then I think they opened for Jake Owen a few times. They're getting a bigger. They write a lot of songs in Nashville. A great sound. If you hadn't checked them out, definitely check out the Cadillac 3. Mm-hmm. Blackberry Smoke's another band that I do think a lot of people know about.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not.
I would say you told me about them. I'd never heard of them. We listened to a couple things of them there.
I tell you who got me into them was Boone. Chris Boone got me into them. That's his thing, man. They're really Southern rock.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we've talked about in other weeks, I'm so far behind on them because they've got 4 or 5 albums probably, or how many ever they've got. And where do you start at on a library? You know what I'm saying? Same, but Boone talks a lot. They got a version of Yesterday's Wine of George Jones. With George Jones, it's pretty sweet. And another guy we've talked about in past shows, Jason Isbell, who I think people need to check out.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty as much as anybody is falling behind and not listening to him as much. Dustin Thompson turned me on to him, and I've just never really. It's one of those deals. Where do you start?
Right.
And
that's a good point there on that. What you're saying about where to start, and I'm going to go back to them. We'll go on, but I'm going to go back to them here just because I just love them so much. That Honey Honey Band. They've got at least three albums out there right now, and the last two, either one of the last two, it's really good. So just jump in there anywhere. Billy Jack's probably got my favorite song on it, Thin Line. It's that's where they're that's probably one of my favorite songs that they do.
Another couple bands. And I do not think a lot of people hear this one. And me and Boone talk about them a lot. And they're actually coming to Nashville next month. I have to look up where they're at again. But the Turnpike Troubadours out of Texas, kind of like a little bluegrassy sound.
Got some bluegrass heritage there.
I would suggest Long Hot Summer Day is probably my favorite song of them.
I wonder if we could play any of these.
Well,
I don't know.
You said it was illegal earlier.
I don't think we can play them, but I
wish we could. We don't know where our boundaries are on that.
Yeah.
Speaking of female names, earlier when you were touching on female, a girl that's really starting to catch a little buzz around Nashville. She was just actually on the radio. The first time I heard her on the radio coming in here today was a girl named Brandy Clark, and she's really circulated in a lot of the same circles as some of these up and coming outlaw singers.
She's pretty sassy too.
Yeah,
that girl, to say the least.
She's not afraid to talk about the cheating and the drinking and smoking and
that she does, not that gets done to her. Yeah,
it's not like Carrie Underwood.
Yeah,
poor thing.
It's kind of she's kind of the antithesis of poor old Carrie Underwood.
Maybe got a little Miranda Lambert.
I would say
in her.
she feels like Miranda Lambert to me.
Just
a
that bad
bit.
Girl image, and which I feel like that sale. That's kind of that's kind of Miranda's deal, and it's Casey Musgrave's deal. Gretchen.
Girl that I'm afraid is going to be a one-hit wonder is that Marion Morris.
But she's generating a lot of buzz, and she's with this Texas group. A lot of these musicians we're naming are out of Texas. It's kind of that red dirt scene. I don't know if Marion Morris hadn't got into her collection enough to really dig into that. But
she's such a good. I really like that song she's got on the radio right now. What made me think that she may wind up being a one-hit wonder was the other night whenever I was watching the CMT Awards. She's actually on there, and she I don't know if she was nervous or what. She
was
like
crap.
Yeah, she didn't sound good at all.
No.
So either she's got a good producer that produced that song, or she just had some nerves. Which somebody that young, I'm sure that's probably a lot of nerves down there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
She's
people.
very critically acclaimed though with people. I listen to a site I'll follow a site, savingcountrymusic.com.
Mm-hmm.
Don't always agree with everything he puts out there, but that's a good website to keep up with some of these people. Whitey Morgan's a guy that's been out for a few years who wants to be Waylon Jennings
Bad.
pretty hardcore.
I mean, I don't know what that album was that we was looking at earlier, but I mean, he tried to make it look like Waylon Jennings.
Yeah, and I think he is more. He's almost got more influenced by Waylon than like Shooter does. I seen Whitey at that concert I keep referring back to, the Greenhouse Show that really changed my way of looking at music. It's 4 years ago, and he done a playoff Waylon's tribute. Waylon had a song called "Bob Wills is Still the King." He wrote a version. He actually when he drove from Detroit, where he lives, down to Nashville that day, he wrote "Waylon is Still the King," and that was actually probably my favorite song of the whole tribute that night. You can look it up on YouTube. Whitey Morgan, "Waylon is Still the King." Kind of ad-libs it on. He's like, shit, I'm probably going to forget part of this,
Yeah.
Actually was the best, my favorite song on there. He said, hey, Playboy, you may be on CMT, but around here, Waylon's still the king.
All right.
So he's got some good stuff. We're not knocking him saying he's wanting to be like Waylon.
No,
Maybe a little bit.
No, yeah,
But I saw him open for Kid Rock back last October. He's got some good songs. I mean, he's very dependent on talk about whiskey and cocaine and cocaine and whiskey and any kind of compound of those two.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like his music and
you brought up Kid Rock there too. Kid Rock's making some type of a comeback, I would think. He's I'm starting to hear his name pop up here and there again. So
for my money, Kid Rock's the best performer I've ever seen. Like I've talked about, I've seen everybody.
Yeah.
That's anybody. You can't. That's the best 2 hours. He puts 110% effort into a concert, and it's just everywhere. Just like his music is. You know
all
what I'm
over
saying?
The place,
it's
yeah.
all over the place. And he'll come out dressed like a cowboy for 30 minutes, and he'll come back out with his striped socks with his Adidas shoe. I mean, he's so ridiculously over the top. For my money, that's the best concert. The energy he puts into it, and he's just funny. He's a funny dude, and I love me some Kid Rock. A name that I really wanted to check out this week, and I'm so mad at myself for missing it. Jason Eady is his name, and I've promoted him a couple times.
We keep talking about him, and neither one of us have got into him.
I'm deep in his life. Like I've been listening to him for 4 years. Shooter Jennings and Cody Canada both used to talk him up a lot. And I've actually talked to him in person.
That's not who I was thinking of. Actually, I did look him up this week. He was actually him and Sturgill were together. I seen him and Sturgill together somewhere this week. Actually,
he was in. I don't know where they were at together. I don't know what that was. I know Wednesday night he was in Knoxville, and that's like the fourth time he's been around.
Yeah,
he don't come to Tennessee much because most of his shows are in Texas. But man, that AM Country Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
If you just want to hear a good country song right down to the roots, man, Jason Eady, AM Country Heaven is your, and Wishful Drinking, Whiskey and You. Of course, there's a Chris Stapleton song that he covered, Old Guitar and Me. If you like old-time country music, man, Jason Eady is your guy. He played a show with my boy Justin Wells Thursday in Lexington. And Justin Wells is somebody I've mentioned on this podcast several times. More of a southern rock, came from the band Fifth on the Floor.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a solo project coming out August 5th. Got a raspy, kind of hell-raising sound.
Mm-hmm.
And it's somebody I'm a big fan of.
Jason Isbell is who I was thinking of. That's who I keep.
That's who we mentioned.
We keep mentioning that I keep meaning to get into, but I never done it yet.
Kind of round this segment up. It's going a little long. Cody Jinks is a guy from Texas that's been out a little bit. People keep telling me I would like him if I listen to him. I've not delved into it yet. Plan on doing that. Whiskey Myers is a band that probably may or may not know about. Check out.
And then obviously Sturgill. A lot of people's, Sturgill's.
Still,
some people still sleeping on Sturgill. My brother asked me, called me last week, and he said, "Hey, give me some of these Shooter Jennings songs." He's still hadn't heard of Shooter Jennings or heard from Shooter Jennings much. So he got on his bandwagon last week. He's telling me how much he loved him. He downloaded some Electric Rodeo stuff and
Shooter's got such an eclectic sound. Like somebody can listen to 4th of July or Gone to Carolina and love him, but you might hear some of his
something from Countach, and you're gonna just
I'll never listen, and I understand it because I'm about as big a Shooter fan as you get, and I don't get into Countach but that much, but loved some songs on Black Ribbons.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that genre, his merchandise girl, Mary Spar, is promoting a guy right now named Coulter Wall.
Yeah, we listened to him the other day a little bit. Isn't he super country? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah, he's really slow. Like
Yeah.
a Johnny Cash. Just
Real young,
really
too.
deep.
ain't he?
Looks young. He's from
Yeah, that's what I thought. We watched that one, the brewery sessions. That's what we looked at the
I
other
think
day.
that's something that's going to have to grow on. I didn't really.
The Devil Wears a Suit and Tie. We watched that one the other day, and
I'm
he's again, he's out there. He's got a definite sound that a lot of people like, but it's one that I'm not quite. It's not quite my thing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to. I try to be a fan of anything that Mary and Shooter and all those guys put out because they've been so nice to me. Mary has, in particular, Mary and John. And so I'm trying to get on the bandwagon of Coulter and try to figure it out. But another band that closed this out, the last one I'm going to throw out there is Whiskey Myers. And I don't know, a lot of people may or may not know about Whiskey Myers. Bar guitar and a honky-tonk crowd. Southern...
I can't remember.
Goodness gracious, I can't believe it. Southern Ballad of a Southern Man.
Yeah.
Can't believe I just went blank on that. It's one of the better songs I've heard in the last 5 or 6 years. So anyway, Dave-O, I don't know that I've exposed you to anybody that you may not know. And that's not for everybody. A lot of people want to hear pop country music right now. And Dave-O gets into those party songs too, and that's okay. And sorry, Dave-O, I just hadn't done my research on those.
Yeah. You know what?
That's my style of music right here.
And this, I'm going to keep harping on them, just because it's one of the bands that I'm just hung on right now is that Honey Honey Band, That's one that I've not heard on the radio anywhere. I just lucked upon them, and So I tell you what I like to do, and I don't know if you do this or not. I like to just go on. I'd like to just go on iTunes and just listen to songs. That down there at the bottom, whenever you pop up your iTunes, there's a like new artists coming up and what have you, and just new things that's got added up. I go on there. I mean, I listen to a lot of junk on there. There's a lot of stuff that I wouldn't ever listen to, but
I find it easy to get on Pandora if it's a similar artist. But if you type in Shooter or Cody Cannon, whoever, and you're going to hear similar music. And a lot of that Red Dirt country. If you type in Cody Cannon, you're going to get Jason Boland, Reckless Kelly. A lot of those bands from out in Texas and Oklahoma area. They got some good stuff. But like I said, that's just my musical taste. I know I've kind of got a weird sound when it comes to that, but I just like real music, and I love that Red Dirt. From Texas, Oklahoma stuff. So.
Yeah.
So hope that helps you out, Dave-O. Hope you find some of those guys that you like and latch on to.
Hey, there's some other big news from our alma mater. Tech and UT are playing football this year for UT's homecoming game.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was going on this year. I guess it's the first time in 65 years, I was told, that they've played.
That those two got together?
And that was just hard for me to believe.
I felt like they played while we were at Tech.
Maybe, but that's just what somebody was telling me the other day. And I don't know the number. That's something I'm going to try to figure out, is how much the Vols paid Tech to be on their schedule.
Oh, I'm sure it's $250,000 plus.
Yeah, it's crazy sometimes. I know the year that I forget the number, but when Tech went out to Oregon and played.
Yeah, is that the year we got our new goalpost up there and stuff?
I can't remember. I hadn't really followed the Tech program. I never went to one Tech football game when we were there.
I went over there a couple of times. Little schools like Tech, they get paid a lot of money to come up and have those tune-up games for those homecomings and whatever. Mm-hmm. And Tech got goalposts one year. They they recovered all their seats one year. I remember that and happening. And I can't remember what all else to do. But there's no telling what this will bring in.
Well, no, and I tell you what, the event, how I found out about it, Sports One, and I cannot think of the owners' names right now. Tina is the lady that owns it. Her husband, I can't think of his name. I left his card in my car. But they're having an event, kind of just a little free plug here for them, because, it's something I'll probably go to if I'm in town. August 27th on Broad Street. That's where the Sports One location's at, across from Crawdaddy's. Mm-hmm. They're having a block party, so they can't call it a tailgate party because they can't allow what all goes on in a tailgate party. Mm-hmm, so they're calling it a block party. They're shutting down Broad Street right there. And from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock, August 27th, they're having a college football kickoff party, and they're having representatives from both UT and Tennessee Tech there. Mm. So they said probably from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, they'll have like the Tech band out there, Tech's football coach, and whatnot, and have all the purple and gold out there for the first couple hours. Mm-hmm. And I think they said they might have Baxter and Jackson County's football teams come and show the local support. And then after that, from probably 4 to 6, 6:30, they're going to have all the Vols part. I don't know. I guess the band and whatever. And they've actually hired. Well, I won't say hired, but they're paying Al Wilson, Jamal Lewis, and Jermaine Copeland, all former Vols, and two of which had really, really good NFL careers.
Mm-hmm.
So they paid them pretty good lump sum, I think, to get them to Cookeville.
Yeah, but what about UT had I'm going blank on his name right now. Had somebody played at least professional arena football too. His name is right there is escaping me. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't come up to that too, though. I mean, he was pretty big.
Well, I think what the owner there told me is that they've had several other names contact them about coming, several Vols, but I think they'd reached their budget with these three. But
Right.
Al Wilson was on the championship team in '98 and had 7 or 8 year career with the Broncos, pretty good career. Jamal Lewis had a great career at Tennessee, but went on to become one of the handful of 2,000-yard rushers in one season in the NFL.
Yeah. Frank Omiali is who I was thinking of. He went and played for the Chicago Bears. And,
Tennessee Tech. I thought you said Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. I went for Tennessee Tech. I was wondering why they didn't try to get some of these Tennessee Tech guys to come up there.
And they may, they may do that.
Yeah,
but,
that'd be great.
But Jamal Lewis is probably the biggest name on that list. Like I said, the career he had at Baltimore, he was, like I said, one of the few 2,000-yard rushers. We had one of our own, Chris Johnson, in Tennessee, and Adrian Peterson was the last. But Jamal had a great career, great run in Baltimore before retiring in, I think, 2004.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine the revenue that's going to bring into Cookeville.
Oh, that'll be huge for Cookeville. Hopefully,
Absolutely.
not just the school. Hopefully it'll bring in a lot of crawdaddies. Will get
I would imagine Crawdaddy, which is always packed.
Yeah.
But I'd say it'd be hard to get a seat in Crawdaddies that night.
Yeah.
So just a quick little plug on that. I know.
Something else. One of our other good listeners has got something going on. Is Chad Flatt. He's not just a listener. He's kind of one of the guys we're modeling some of this stuff afterward.
Yeah. Part of our inspiration.
Part of our inspiration to come on and.
What did he say on Facebook the other day?
He said, "Whose banana do I have to split to get on here?" So. Nobody's, buddy. Just come on.
Yeah, I don't need my banana split by any.
Yeah. You just come on and get on whenever you want to. We got a third mic here for you, buddy.
And Chad was wanting to. We had talked about trying to come on this weekend, plug some of his stuff he's got coming up.
Yeah.
I think his wife's birthday was I can't remember his wife's birthday, and his baby just turned 1. I know they're having a big celebration all this weekend for both of those things. So he couldn't really get the time together to call in this morning. So just on his part, I'd like to. Just kind of plug a couple things Chad's got coming up.
Yeah.
For you guys that don't know, Chad hosts the podcast Pro Wrestling Weekly every week. You can find it on the fanspodcast.com. And also he has a little a company he does on the side, Heroes and Legends Autographs and Collectibles. And he does everything from pro wrestling memorabilia to pop culture. It just depends what he's got going on. Like he'll travel to these little independent wrestling shows all across the Southeast. Mm-hmm. He'll set up, which is such an amazing booth. Like he's put so much time and working with Chad. I've worked with Chad a couple times about it. I'll go help him set up sometimes. Mm-hmm. He's not gonna put anything a half-ass setup up.
Right.
Like he's such a perfectionist, and his booth looks amazing when he gets it set up. And he's got the best stuff out there for kids and for collectors. But he also sets up at Comic Cons, which are getting to be
huge. They're everywhere now.
That's the thing where everybody's going towards. So I know next weekend Chad will be at Comic Con or Fanboy Comic Con in Knoxville. Mm-hmm. It's a 3-day event, and some of the biggest professional wrestling names, and I know that we grew up watching: Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Jeff Hardy. I think the Dukes of Hazzard will be there. Catherine Bach played Daisy Duke, and Wopat and Schneider will be there. It's a nice little event. I think they do once a year in Knoxville, maybe twice. I think it's once a year. But Chad will have his booth sitting up there. Go check him out, and he'll also be at Freedom. I think it's Freedom Pro Professional Wrestling on July 2nd at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Mm-hmm. He'll have his booth set up there, and be a nice little local wrestling deal they got going on with some big names. Eric Bischoff will be there.
Oh, that's
used
big.
to run WCW. Yeah. So good little Dusty Smith's been begging us to talk about some wrestling on here.
Hey, and go listen to his podcast too. I mean, he's got a great voice. He's nice to listen to. If that's your thing, go out there and check that out.
Yeah, definitely. I know we have some wrestling fans that listen, and it's not something we talk about regularly.
Yeah.
or ever.
Yeah.
And Dusty,
Yeah.
I know Dusty will be fired up watching the Money in the Bank pay-per-view tonight on the WWE Network, but I'll be watching Game 7 of the finals. But
Yeah.
But now Chad definitely has a great him and his partner Keelia from down in Georgia, the Georgia Peach. They do have a great podcast, and I know Braden and Smith and Josh Smith and a lot of these guys have been calling for us to talk about some wrestling stuff. If that's your thing, go listen to the Pro Wrestling Weekly podcast on the Fans Podcast.
Yeah, we're not going to do it any better than he's doing it. So if y'all got some time, go check that out. Little something I wanted to jump into here and try to get going a little. I don't know if it's a contest. I don't know if you call it a contest. I don't know what you call it, but we talk about diet, we talk about working out here and there, and it's kind of got stale and kind of got stagnant. And I don't know about you, but I need a direction. I need something.
Motivation.
I need some motivation. I need some.
You would think looking at pictures of myself would be
motivation enough, but I don't know what it is. Life gets out ahead of you. Life gets going on. So, want to do a little contest here.
Okay.
So what I want to do is for the next 8 weeks.
Okay.
Next 8 weeks, who's ever lost the most weight gets to come on and sit down with the show with.
Okay. Are we keeping up with our progress with it along?
Well, obviously we want to compare it to them, but I don't want everybody going out there and having to post their. I want everybody to be able to participate, but I don't want everybody to have to go out and post what they weigh or anything like that. I don't want to do that. But
it's good. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I ain't about to. So we'll just use the. You tell us how much you lost. When kind of keep up with it week over week. So shoot it out to us. And we'll try to do a good job of keeping up with how much we've done or what we've lost. And it's diet and exercise. And if you get a lot better, do a lot better than we do, then great. And if and this will be something good just to be doing for everybody too. So, but
yeah.
And I wanted to incentivize it a little bit. So whoever wins, if you want, post it to Facebook on our OLR podcast, post it to our Twitter, or Instagram or whatever, how much you've lost. Like I said, we'll just use the honor program. So don't worry about throwing out your actual weight there. So just post that you got in, and then post how much you're losing week over week, and then we'll be doing the same thing.
Yeah, no lying, no diet pills.
Yeah, don't do those diet pills. If you I'd rather not do the contest and have a bunch of people out here on diet pills, but just diet and hard work in the gym. Go out there and kill it. So if over 8 weeks, if you lose 8 pounds, man, that's big. That's a pound a week. It's cutting 3,500 calories out each week that you normally would have had. And if anybody is wondering what the, if that was a surprise to anybody or everybody's wondering, it's 3,500 calories is 1 pound. So if you cut out 3,500 pounds, yeah. So you cut 3,500 calories out in a week that you normally would have had, you're going to lose a pound.
Yeah, we hope this interests you guys. I know sitting in and doing a call in or sitting up here with us is not a big incentive, but feeling better and looking better should be incentive enough. It's just a little fun thing that Lucas came up with and said, hey, let's just whoever wins after 8 weeks, let's have them on to talk about it.
Yeah.
And we hope James Hatcher takes a diet because that episode with him was pretty fun.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
So
maybe Wesley, if you can get down there to turn into a skeleton somehow or another, maybe you can get back on here.
I listened to Wesley's. Be proud to listen, Wesley, if you're still listening to us. That I had Summertime Hit on the lake last week, and we went out with Brandon and Casey last Sunday, and we had the Summertime Hit blasting on the radio. So
I had it on whenever we were in Texas. We was driving through Texas. I had the Summertime Hit blaring coming down the radio.
There you go.
That was it's a good song. It's in my repertoire now. It's just coming through whenever it goes.
Right. So yeah, do that, guys, and post it to our social media. Let us know how it goes. I know one of our listeners, Mike Murphy, a guy I work with, a buddy of mine. He just started his low carb diet a couple weeks ago. So
yeah,
maybe you jumped the gun on. He should have waited.
Yeah, well, start from today. Whatever you're at today, and if you get on that low carb diet, it kind of takes a week or so to get kick started anyway. So you're about to get ramped up into it anyhow.
Yeah,
so
perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We're finalizing some big news for some future shows in the next week or so.
Yeah, we should have some.
Hopefully, we have some big news in the next.
We keep teasing that, but I don't think you guys realize sometimes
how long stuff takes. It takes a lot longer to do stuff than what you think.
And I've kind of reached out to a couple people, and somewhere we're going to have some pretty good interviews, I think, coming up in the next month, hopefully. And
some pretty neat names. I mean, some people might not know, but
right now we're talking with another former NFL player, the son of a legendary country music star, and a guy that writes some good articles here in Tennessee, and is a pretty big editor and writer in Tennessee. So kind of a little tease for upcoming shows, but pretty much got those in agreement. We're just waiting on a good time to do it. A cool thing I got proposed to us last week was our listener Shane Keith.
Shane, Shane's reached out to me, and he's reached out to you a couple times. Seems like a avid listener. It seems like he likes what's going on.
And he gave us a pretty good proposal that we could come anytime. And he wanted us to do it yesterday when I was on the poker run. He texted me. He's like, "We're up here waiting, and I wish we could have done it." Shane's wanting us to pick up location here, pick up our stuff, and take it to the top of his houseboat.
That'd be awesome.
And
set at the lake.
Yeah, so I just think that that's a great idea, Shane, and thank you for the hospitality. And we're definitely going to pick up the mixer and the screen, and
we're going to come your way, buddy.
Yeah, and I think I'll iron it out with Lucas, and then I'll iron it out with you. We just got to find a time that we can both do it, obviously. And you're up there every weekend living the dream on top of your houseboat, so we're definitely going to make that happen. So anybody wants to be live in attendance for one of the One Lane Road podcast, come to Del Hollow Marina soon.
There'll be your first opportunity to kind of see us in action. That's kind of exciting. I don't go to the lake a whole lot, but Kara's been asking to go check it out for a while, and before she gets big and pregnant and too hot to be up there,
Yeah. So that's going to happen probably in the next couple of weeks, I would imagine.
Hope so,
yeah. So Shane, we're taking you up on your offer, so have all the amenities ready for us, and we're ready to come.
All we needs 2 plug-ins is all we'll need.
That's it, man. So we don't ask for much.
Yeah.
So and we'll bring anything else that we need too. So you ain't got to hook us up too much.
Yeah.
But and we've got a fundraiser. We can actually kind of put it out there. We're
gonna do a little fundraiser. We're just trying to finalize kind of the location and where we're gonna do it at and stuff.
Just ironing out some details, but it's exciting stuff. And I'll be reaching out to several people, and I've already got some people volunteering to help and to do their thing. That's going to be a really cool deal, and we're all proceeds will go to
some charity. We hadn't quite figured out which charity we're gonna shoot to yet. We got a couple we've been throwing around here.
So, just a reminder as always, James Hatcher. If you guys need outbuilding, pole barn, any additions, decks, anything construction wise, James Hatcher is your man.
He's your guy. He's got a small crew, not a lot of overhead carrying out through there, and does a really good job. So he's really fairly priced and does a great job for you.
931-319-1680. Do not call him today. I forgot to tell you this. James was gone on a bachelor party this weekend.
Our buddy Jimmy's getting married.
Congratulations, Jimmy.
Congratulations,
I wish I could have made it. Second kid will slow you down on stuff like that. I know I've seen some of the videos and pictures you sent me, James, Jimmy, Sasha, and Curtis. I know you boys are having a great time up there. I hope everything went well, safe. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, that'll wrap us up for this week.
Yes, sir. We'll talk to you guys next week.
See you guys.